difficult that
Is
that would
the
follow.
is the United States preparing for war against Iran? I mean, in the past 48 hours, we've seen these evacuations of American embassies in the Middle East. Do you think that this is an indication of imminent war or some sort of a ploy for negotiation purposes?
Well, as I say, it could be, but it doesn't really matter which it is, which is a strange answer to give you. It doesn't really matter because if it's a negotiation ploy, it will fail. And if it's a ploy to prepare for war, well, that's going to fail too. So, I mean, it doesn't really change much, whichever it is. Yes, I think they're preparing. Clearly, Israel is preparing too. They are preparing very fast. I mean, they are delighted. They are dancing in the streets at the idea that America may attack Iran. But as I've tried to say several times in this, even America cannot attack the Iranian nuclear bunkers. Well, they're more than bunkers, they're hidden in mountains of the Iranian nuclear deterrence. Because if you like to get the biggest bunker bomber possible, the GBU 5797, which is the biggest they have and which Israel doesn't have, it can only be launched, if you like, by a heavy aircraft, by a B-2, and it will only penetrate to 66 meters. Even a nuclear weapon will go down to, at the most, 200 to 500 meters of depth. And the Iranian, if you like, centrifuges, which are all based on, if you like, a special absorbent base that can withstand an earthquake of 6 on the Richter scale, but they are literally half a mile beneath. They are more than 800 meters down, and there are 5 of them. And it would take about 15 bombs, 12 to 15 of the big bunker bombs, or even the nuclear bombs, to get anywhere near them, if they do at all. And that would mean you're talking about 6 or 7 aircraft, B-2s, American B-2s.
Right.
But you'd also then, that there are 5 of them. So you want to have all of these bombs 5 times over. So you'd need 30 B-2 bombers. And America doesn't have that. It doesn't even own that many. It owns much less. A few, I mean, at most 10 or 12 or something, but it doesn't have 30 to spare on this. So the Iranians are cautious. Now, I think there's one possibility that needs to be aired, which is that it's possible that, you know, Trump is all about drama and everything else. I mean, he might think he's able to do a sort of Yemen exercise whereby he says to the Iranians, look, we'll bomb a target. Look, you line up an empty IRGC, you know, headquarters, no one in it, and we'll bomb that. And then you'll bomb a radar system in Israel. And then we'll say, great victory. The Iranians have backed off and, you know, we're on the path to success. The Iranians won't buy that. They won't go into that, not at all. They are feeling very confident. I was speaking to Tehran today. They're very confident. They're not at all fussed. They think that, and I would say, following a military analyst that I much admire, Will Shriver, and who says basically, pity the country that attacks Iran. Pity the country, Israel or America, that attacks Iran, because they're going to pay a huge price, and Israel will. And we've left out the other great element in this, which is really important, is Iran claims that it has managed to steal a cache of nuclear secrets from Israel, which include the complete, if you like, target range of their most sensitive nuclear sites in Israel, all the details of those. And they also have a treasure trove of other intelligence. Now, I haven't seen it and wouldn't understand it probably if I did, but it's been seen by some Farsi-speaking bits of it, not all of it, because they've had this for some time. But it also shows, or purports to show, that the IEA have been playing a double game throughout this, that they have been providing intelligence directly to Israel about, if you like, Iranian secret sites and others. So we have here this happening, and at the same time, if you like, the board of governors of the IAEA have now produced a resolution stating that Iran is in breach of the JCPOA, which is obviously a prelude to a coming resolution for a snapback of sanctions. So as I say, the process, if it is a political process, is going backwards at this time.
What happens if Iran does have Israeli nuclear secrets and it publishes them? What does that achieve?
I don't think they'll publish them until they've attacked them first. They can publish them after, but I think they'd probably want to, to keep the element of surprise, military surprise, in their hands first. Look, this would be devastating for Israel if this is true, which may explain why we've had a slight change in tone from Netanyahu, who has been saying, well, I could see, if you like, just temporary enrichment, of course, which he's always said, never, ever, ever. And of course, even that temporary enrichment is not acceptable to Iran, the idea of this consortium. By the way, that consortium idea did not come from the Iranians, it came from the American side. And it's not going to fly, it's not going to work, because essentially America wants this consortium. I mean, they even claim that they've decided how many shares each side own. It's not true. And this consortium idea wouldn't even be in Iran. So that at any point, the West could still turn off the energy supply. I just want to explain why this is such a neuralgic point is that for many years, going back to the Shah's time, Iran had this research reactor in Tehran, which produced medicines and things for diseases that needed isotopes and things that for curing cancer and other diseases. It requires 20% enriched uranium to work. And they had that at the time, and they imported it. And then at a certain point, with the JCPOA, they came to the US and negotiated and said, look, we've long since run out of the 20%. We'd like to import some. And initially the US said, okay, yes, go out in the market and get 20% enrichment. We can agree to that probably. And of course, what happened was they found buyers, and then the Americans said, of course you can't. No, you're not going to have 20%. And this is behind the Iranian absolute determination. No, we have to have enrichment on our own soil. We can't let it just be at the whim of another state.